Hey everybody and welcome. This is Barney Kuntze, creator and founder of the Animal Wellness Summit. And for those of you who are wondering what's going on, I can see that there's a couple comments wondering. And we had some tech challenges here, aka originally we were going to be on Zoom, and then now we decided to use the Be Live TV or through Facebook Live. So some of you, I can see that you were on there before, so sometimes for whatever reason this doesn't load up right away and Be Live TV. It usually works really well, but sometimes we have a little bit of challenges. And Brent is actually with us. Our guest presenter and speaker is with us today. She's just getting set up with a couple other things because she was prepared for our audio call like we normally do for our VIPs. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys, first of all, I can see Kathleen, Brenda, Angela, Eva, Sarah, Jane, and MJ. If you guys are still, if you guys are ladies who are still on, just do me a huge favor. Just put in the comments that you can hear me, the sound's good, my hair looks good, and then also let me know where you're tuning in live from, because this presentation, or this call rather, is going to be very interesting. Now, up until now, we've been doing these weekly coaching calls for our VIP members. And it's been decided based on some surveys and talking to presenters, talking to VIP members, that there's just so much brilliance and wisdom and so much really great information that's being shared on these calls that we didn't want to reserve it just for the paid community. And so what we've done actually is we've now, we're not yet, but we're setting up monthly mini masterclasses for all of our VIP members that they're going to receive for free. And so if you're not a VIP member, you'll actually be able to purchase those a la carte, which means if you see one topic that you'd like to learn, a little mini masterclass, you'll be able to purchase just that. And these weekly coaching calls are going to be standing unless something is different for the current presenter. And thank you, Teresa. My hair, I did it just before the call, and I think it looks pretty good. VIP coaching calls, these weekly live bonus coaching calls are going to happen every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And from now on, moving forward, they're going to be on Facebook Live. And we will then put the replay on our YouTube page. We'll also put it on up in our members area. And it'll also be available YouTube and then on the Facebook page as well. So we will 2 more minutes before we're going to get 2 to 3 more minutes before we get rolling here. But I want to tell you about Brent. Okay, she is an amazing presenter. I had a call with her for her community on Pet Life Radio, or for her talk show or her radio show. And then she kind of interviewed me and asked me, like, what about the summit and how did it all get started and why did I do it? And it was really cool. And one of the things that she shared, there was a lot that she shared that you guys are going to find out very shortly here. But one of the things is the inevitability of us, the majority of us as pet parents and animal lovers, we're going to outlive many of our pets and animals that are in our lives. The human life expectancy is a lot longer than the most animals. And so we're going to deal with death. We're going to deal with loss. We're going to deal with the fact that they're not here anymore physically. And so what Brent's work is, it's very involved in the after the pet has passed on or the animal has passed, or as she would like to say, transitions. And so there's a lot that can happen from a mental emotional standpoint with all of the things with just anxiety, the fear, like grieving. We were doing a coaching call earlier this year, and one of the members got on and said that one of her horses died like I think 7 or 8 years ago, and she's still feeling that loss. It's still kind of, it's still been challenging for her. And so I think you guys are going to find this very interesting. And now Brent is actually a new-time presenter, a first-time presenter to the Animal Wellness Summit. I'm pretty sure she was recommended. We'll actually ask Brent and ask how she was recommended. I think actually Eva might have recommended Brent.
Yes.
Okay, it was Eva. Eva Survey from she lives in Spain, I think, if I remember correctly. Hopefully, Eva, don't shoot me. But she has been instrumental as a fellow presenter, introducing us to some other amazing presenters for the Animal Wellness Summit. So Brent's presentation is going to be featured for the first time this year, and 2018, which, by the way, the dates are November 17th to the 26th, and it's Pet Loss is Not Dead and Done. So we're going to be talking about that, and you guys are going to have your chance to be able to ask your questions, and I will do my very best to moderate as we get ready to rock and roll here. Now, I haven't, the last comment that I see right now is Teresa saying, great hair. She's referring to me.
That's good.
And then Shelly said, look, at my hair looks great. So this is awesome. I just don't know if you guys are leaving more comments because sometimes there's a bit of a delay. So Brent, are you good to go there?
Almost.
All right, cool. Okay, so just so I know that we're ready, one last call for a comment. Just leave a comment. Where are you calling in from? Where are you joining in live from right now? So that I can just check to make sure that everything is fine and dandy for this, the comments, because I hate being on here and then not being able to see your comments in real time. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to refresh my screen. Hopefully it doesn't kick everybody off. Just 1 second, guys. All right, so I can see that. All right, so Susan, yes, the summit is going to be pretty amazing. I'm not sure if this is your first time or your second time. I feel like I recognize your name, but maybe this is your second time around, but this is going to be pretty awesome. 10 days of amazing free learning. And I think we're almost ready here. All right, you ready?
Give me a taste then. Hold on.
Okay. All right. All right.
Good job.
All right. Well, welcome, Brent. You're on the screen. You're live, and your hair looks amazing. I know people were, I think they were commenting about my hair, but I think your hair looks a lot better than mine.
Thank you. You know, God missed some other areas of me, but he gave me hair, and I'm still waiting for the rest of the areas, and you girls understand. For those of you who haven't met me, I thank you. Go over to my Pet Life radio show, Alive Again, and listen. We interviewed Barney, and it's good stuff. So if you want to know what's going on, listen to him over there. It's good. This morning, we were going to do a show, and he forgot to tell me it was going to be live. So those of you out there know you have to get everything in place, your teeth, your makeup, and so you don't scare anybody, and they drop dead in front of their computer. Okay, you were on.
Right. Yeah. So, Brent, I did a...
Everybody out there, we're drinking tea.
Amazing. I had my coffee and my tea early this morning.
And it's not laced, so it's all right.
Well, we'll find out soon. So
that might be more fun.
I was rambling on quite a bit there. I would love for you, I gave you a brief introduction to everybody who's listening live, but I'd love for you to just tell your story briefly, what you do and what, just because it's so unique. And I think that it's so interesting that I'd love for you to just tell your story briefly about how, a little bit of background and how you got to be doing what you're doing right now.
I'm going to go a zippity-doo-dah version. How's that?
That sounds great.
That way we won't bore anybody. When I was 5 years old, Dr. J.B. Ryan at Duke University came in, and he and the men in the white coats came into our second grade, and they put stickies on us. And when they put stickies on us, they tested us for this thing called ESP, which is essentially extrasensory perception. So we were in the pilot study for that group, and I was documented as having sending and receiving powers. I paid no attention to that. So then they put us in the gifted group, which the North Carolina Governor Terry Sanford started. And it's the entire pilot program for all the gifted programs that are now around the country. So I didn't know you weren't supposed to be with two people, the same people in your grade for all of your life, but I was. And I didn't pay any attention to any of this until my fiance was killed in 1997. And all of the gifts that I had inside of me that I just considered the voices in my head, the things that I could see, and the people I could talk with, that was normal. And I just, figured it was normal. So with that, when Mike was killed, everything blew up and I couldn't put it inside, and I was seeing things. And I went back to Duke and I said, I'm going stark raving mad. I can see things, I can hear things, and I can look inside bodies, and I can see spirits, and I can talk to them face to face. And they all went, really? And I went, yeah. So they tested me, and they deemed that I was a medical intuitive. And the first part of my learning that Barney is going to allow me to do on the summit is I'm going to do a section about the wellness. I have the gift to be able to look inside any body, your body, an animal's body, and describe and diagnose what I see. And I've spoken at the North Carolina State Veterinary Association, and I've spoken at the Open Center in New York about diagnosing animals. And I'm going to be doing that in my first section about diagnosing and looking inside and healing tips and showing you how to use your hands to help heal your own animals. Because I've been able to stop seizures and grow bones and things like that with animals. So I'm going to show you how to do that on my summit thing. Also, we have those on my YouTube video station. Now, what we're talking about today is after you spend all this time with wellness, they go to the other side and everybody thinks dead is done. Well, that's where my fiance who died, his name was Mike, said, no, let me teach you from the other side as a spirit how to access me, how to touch me, how to see me, how to feel me. And so that will be my second presentation, that we're going to look inside their bodies and let's figure out what's wrong first. Then I'm going to show you ways to teach them and to heal them. After that, when they exchange their body, which is just discard the earth suit, we're going to show you how to continue to touch them, see them, and feel them, and enjoy them for the rest of your life. Because love is never ending, and it's a continuous love story. So that's sort of what I do. And why I'm different from animal communicators is I don't get telepathic thoughts. I look at the pet face to face. And yes, their spirit moves and their spirit mouth moves and they talk. And if I'm talking to somebody in the Netherlands or in Japan, the pet talks to me in English so that I can commute what he's saying to me back to the pet parent. And when it's over, the pet spirit, I ask it to leave so it goes back and stays with the pet parent. So I don't know if that's an overview, but it's as quick as I can do it.
No, not only is it quick, it was a very amazing summary. I think that, the questions that are going to probably be going through people's heads are thinking, well, how does it, there's going to be the far left of the questionable, the scientific side, the proof. There's the other open, creative right-hand side of people that are going to say, oh, yeah, I totally can resonate with that. I understand it. And I think that it's kind of bridging that gap of coming into the center of just acknowledging that at the end of the day, one of the most notable quotes that I'm reminded of right now is that we're spiritual beings having a physical experience.
The Earth School.
What's that?
We're on the Earth School. We're spirits on Earth.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that, from my experience growing up in a Mennonite Christian upbringing and having my, having certain religious beliefs and or doctrines and creeds and ideas, and then believing them and then questioning them, I think that if you were to say that to kind of help people, no matter where they are coming from a religious or spiritual perspective, what has been your experience with being able to help people kind of make sense of it in order so that they can, through their own beliefs and ideas, to just know that it's helpful and it's real and it's not going to freak them out?
Well, the first thing I say is the fact that you're connected by love to your pet is going to protect you. And then I have spent 21 years crafting a protection prayer that you can go to lunch with the devil himself and he can't mess with you. So I do believe that energy, and I go at it from an electromagnetic energy point of view. I don't like to go at it from and I'm going to say this, and if I offend anybody, I don't mean to, a woo-woo, airy-fairy, dramatic sensationalism. I was a skeptic myself, and I had to have myself know it was real. So when you deal with electromagnetic energy, which everything is, then that's more important and that's more real. And in dealing with healing energy, and when you see inside a body, it's like a thermograph. My friends say an MRI is my mother, because when I lie inside of an MRI machine, I can see the images that it's sending over to the technician. But It's really, I'm just looking at electromagnetic vibrations, because every organ in your body has an electromagnetic vibrational frequency, and that's what they tune the MRI machine into. So if they're going for your liver, they go to the liver frequency. If they're going for your lung, they go to lung frequency. And so all I do is tune into the frequency, and that's the electromagnetics of it. And there's a whole thing on vibrational medicine that will help somebody understand about the electromagnetic frequencies. Now, when you're talking about spirits, and we get to the other side, Mike showed me it's just electromagnetic. Thank you, Eva. My heart's yours. I'm seeing these little things pop up. So when you see electromagnetic energy in spirit form, really you shouldn't be freaked out, because it's just, they say across the veils, but the veils is right there. And what I try to do to answer you real specifically is death. I asked my guides how to explain it. And they said to me, okay, we're going to use you, Barry. What if I take water and boil it? What do you get?
You get, here, I'll bring myself back in. You get steam.
All right. If I take steam and freeze it, what do I get?
You get ice.
If I take ice and melt it, what do I get?
Back in the water.
Okay. If I take water and I boil it, what do I get?
Steam.
Okay. Spirits are really in steam form, because though you think you can't see them, it's like the air you breathe. You can't see it, but you breathe it. And steam, after it dissipates, just like the soul dissipates into living energy, I consider spirit steam form. But they're really just a form of electromagnetic energy. And ghost hunters can use a Geiger counter and go and find out where they are. Well, we teach people how to use your hands and sweep for energy so you can feel your pet. So energy just changes forms. And so what we like to say is when a pet dies, we don't use the word die. You just transition out of your earth suit or pet suit. It's like they take off their fur suit and poof, become living energy. Now, if they reincarnate, which is only 30 to 40%, they put another pet suit on. But if you think of it just as discarded energy, there's the earth suit. There it is over there. Then you can connect through your heart, which keeps you protected for the rest of your life. You don't have to. There's no rainbow bridge. It's a poem. Okay? And you can connect with your heart to your living spirit pet on the other side and enjoy being with him every day for the rest of your life on earth. And that's my mission to teach, so that people don't cry and they don't go crazy and they stop grieving and realize it's just a new journey in a new form. Right. So that's why they shouldn't be scared. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it just kind of, so for my own experience, I mean, recently we just had, I think I mentioned it, I know I emailed you about this, because our dog Lucy, when she ran away, she had gotten sick and we were cleaning up her room, and then she ran away, and we don't know if she got killed or somebody has her or she got eaten or whatever.
Oh, I thought she was just lost and came back.
No, she left and she's gone, and that's...
Then we'll talk. Okay, I thought she just like ran down the street.
No.
And come back. I didn't understand. When you said lost, in my mind, when she's lost, it's like down the street and we back. Well, when they cross over, that's a whole different energy.
Yeah, well, see, and we don't know. The challenge is we don't know. As far as we're concerned, she's lost, but we don't know, did somebody pick her up and just decide to keep her because she just got groomed, so we had taken the collar off. I know it's silly, but we had a nice little handkerchief on, and she's playing around the house, and then she just kind of picked up and took off. But there was a couple other people. So, I mean, I was mentioning that to you, and I was to finish my point before we transition, is that we didn't really know. I was thinking she was going to.
Okay, then we'll track her energy. Then I'll work with you on this. We'll do a sidebar, and we'll track her energy, because it's tracking electromagnetic energy. And if she's gone over, for you to know, this is interesting.
Okay.
When an animal communicator talks to a live pet, it's this frequency. Okay. Yep. And they perceive, and key word, y'all, is perceive what they're looking at. When a medium looks for spirit energy, they receive information down. Okay. So what's your dog's name?
Lucy.
Okay, so if we're looking for Lucy, the first thing you do, if she's alive, you send out an earth frequency signal. Lucy. And if that produces nothing, then you say, okay, let's go to a higher frequency, which is where a lot of people can't go. But mediums have to go to a higher frequency and then search that frequency for Lucy. And if you get it, pa-ping, then you know she's just dumped her earth suit, even though it's freshly groomed, and is sitting there waiting to sit on your shoulder or be in your lap in another form.
Right.
So okay. We can do that.
Okay. So
but I'm not as good with the earth point energy because that's a lower frequency. I'm better with the higher frequencies.
Right.
And that's why I specialize in talking to dead pets.
Right. Yeah, because
that was a trick. You should have said transition.
Transition. I didn't catch you fast.
Never use the word dead.
Yeah, that transition. And I think, so, you know, my original kind of point for bringing that up was because when I didn't convey all the details, I guess, but at the time when I messaged you, she was lost, or we thought she was just lost and we didn't know. But there was a couple people here, actually, I just want to pull this up here. Jane said, timely, my female golden died Monday, October the 1st, so literally.
Okay, the first thing we do, Jane, is we say transitioned. Key the word died out. That helps you separate in your mind so they can start sending you signs and being around you, and it draws their energy to you. When you say died, it sounds like gone. No. Transition means slipped out of the earth suit and rock and roll with a new journey.
So what could you, I don't know right now with Be Live, before we were able to actually pull people in, and I don't know that Jane's still with us, but what tips, I guess, like what would you give her, or could you give her other than what you just told me, to kind of, I guess, like basically, how do you do this when you work with people? And I should ask, actually, do people hire you? Do you do this on your show, or how do you help people with it? Is it like there's a course and here's how to understand it so you can do it yourself, or?
Okay. I'm just going to, first of all, I have a YouTube channel, and we've got I've done 400 and some odd videos on this. I answer questions, and it's free. It's just YouTube, Brent Atwater. And I do it free because I want to help heal hearts. I wake up every day to heal hearts from death, because when my Mike was killed in an automobile accident, I knew what it felt like to be alone and to have your guts splattered all over everything. And it took me 10 years to recover. And Mike taught me from the other side how to connect. And he said, well, what are you going to do with this? And I said, I don't know. He said, why don't you help people not feel like that they're hurting inside, teach them to connect. And I said, Mikey, I don't know how to do that. And he said, sit still, be quiet, and I'll show you. So he showed me all these techniques. And in these techniques, I show them on YouTube. We have a Facebook group it's a global group. And we have a professional bereavement counselor over there, because a lot of people really need professional help. So I've enlisted several professional people who have a spiritual base. But our bereavement counselor has been doing this for 30 years, and she works with hospice, so she's very familiar with that. I've written a couple of books that literally teach you the techniques to do this, and I show the techniques of how to, I did how to touch energy, and then ask the pet to put their paw in your hand, and then how to learn what signs are, because they send you signs. They're electromagnetic. They can flicker lights. They can flicker candles. They can do a feather, a ladybug, a bird. And we talk about all the signs in my Facebook group. And so I teach people by having other people also in the same situation explain what they're doing. And we have huge discussions about how to understand what's going on and how to reach out and how to see and how to acknowledge. Because at first you think, I'm crazy. That's not happening. Well, no, it's real. And so once you have an experience from a sign, or you see your pet out of the corner of your eye, you wake up in the middle of the night and hear them scratching at the door, or smell them, or hear them bark, your whole life is changed forever when you get 100 people validating, well, yeah, I did that too. And you learn you're not crazy. And when you do the exercises about put your paw in my hand, it changes you forever. You know right then that death is not dead and done. It's just transition. And so if you want, I can show you if you got 3 minutes.
Sure.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's rub our hands together. Let's be a participant now. Rub our hands together. Now, what you're doing is you're activating the nerves in your hands, which are the most highly sensitive of any nerve you have, although as a man you may think otherwise. So after you do this, you spread them apart like this. Can you see? Am I in that frame or that frame? Which, you get the whole frame that way? Right. See how my fingers are spread apart like that?
Okay, now you are. All right,
do it all the way. Okay, you want to do it about 3 feet out, everybody. Now, when you do this, open those fingers up. When you do this, very slowly come in, like touching dust on a butterfly's wings. And you'll feel pressure between your hands. Slow down, you're going to kill that, whatever it is. Back up, Barney, go again. Take your hands, flick them, rub them. Okay, spread apart. There you go, spread them apart. And come back in real slowly till you either feel fat air, tingling, or a little bit of pressure. Now you got to when you do this, you're feeling your own energy field. This is critical. You'll feel your own. Now see, I can feel mine about here. And just take your little hands and do like this, and you'll feel it palpably. Feel like you get a little fat air bubble in there.
Yep.
You're feeling your own life force energy. Now, Wild, my mother's 84-year-old garden club could do this, so I know anybody can do it. And you're feeling your own life force energy. Now, if you and I were in the same room, I could do this to you with your hand and you would feel me. So you and your wife can practice doing what I call the patty cakes, and you'll be able to be in each other's energy.
Yeah.
That's way cool and has lots of uses. So when you do this, what you do, then you will put your hand out and you will say, I ask, and it is my intent for the energy previously known as Lucy to put your paw in my left hand now. And the reason you would say your left hand is if you're right-handed, your left hand receives, your right hand sends.
Yeah.
So the hand that you write with is your sender. The hand that you don't write with is your receiver. So I'm right-handed, so this sends out and the left hand receives. And then if you sit very quietly and do this, and there's a protection prayer that goes with it, and you just say, I ask, and it is my intent to surround myself with a seamless mirrored cocoon of the Christ white light to protect me now, forevermore, and always. So be it, it is done. That's it. You can rock and roll, and you are totally protected. And then once you feel that paw knows whatever you ask, you have to be very specific, put in your hand, it will change your life forever, and you'll know that dead is not done, and it's merely transition and dump the earth suit.
Right.
I don't know if that answered you.
Yeah, that did. That's great.
A 2-minute version.
No, that's great. And I really appreciate that. I might be easier to do it. I'll look it up because I like learning new things. And I think that I was asking for my own benefit, but also more specifically for everybody who is on and thinking, okay, well, I'd like to do this because there is presenters that in the first year that talked about like using essential oils and emotions and how to kind of bridge the gap and dealing with like the grieving of the loss of your pet or your animal. And I just think that because it's something that's so, I mean, it's part of our human
life cycle.
It's part of the life cycle, right? We're mortal beings, at least in the physical human, like you said, the bodysuit, so to speak. And our animals, I was just actually telling somebody today, I was over getting water just getting water. I talked to the lady and she's like, hey, did you find your dog? And I said, no. You know, she's like, oh, she never came back. I said, yeah, we don't know what happened. And I just said, growing up, I grew up on a farm, and we had like let's say farm dogs, but they were on the farm and they were big dogs.
When you live on a farm, because I had a farm experience background too, you understand the cycle of life and death.
Yeah, you just,
it's part of it.
You see it happening, and I mean, it was every week, right? And so I think growing up, I can remember 4 of our dogs, Skippy, Thumper, Blackie, and the other one I'm drawing a blank on right now for some reason. But my point in bringing this up is that it felt different. At least my perception of it is now, looking back, that it felt different growing up in the farm. Whereas with Lucy, she was living with us. She felt like more, not like they weren't part of our family, but a farm dog, at least for me when we were growing up, they were still part of like the family, but they weren't really, they didn't come in our house that much. But we had them like that. Yeah, like Lucy would come in, and she was a small dog, right? So it was just different. So my reason for saying all this without rambling on is that I sense that people that are watching live and or after as a replay, it's going to be very helpful to just know that they can still feel and stay connected, because I think all too often there's that sense of disconnection of the physical element that then it leads to that perspective that, well, now they're like completely gone.
Well, that's where my job on Earth for the past 21 years has been, to break that barrier and if you talk about just shedding the Earth suit or shedding the person, and it's the same way with humans, you just shed and the electromagnetic energy continues to live. And the reason they don't interface with them is because they think they can't. It's a choice.
Right.
So if you want to sit and say, okay, they're at Rainbow Bridge, I'm going to sit here and wait to die to meet Fluffy, I'm going to go, why are you spending all that time waiting when you could be dealing with Fluffy every day until then, and he could walk you over?
Right.
Well, and so I'm going up against that paradigm to change it, because it's a poem. It's not a place. And the spirit is with you. And some people will be able to see that. Not a lot of, if everybody could see, then I wouldn't have my job. So when I do readings, I invite Fluffy in, we sit and talk, and that's a good thing. But everybody can touch and feel them and sense them and smell them and ask them questions in dreams and get answers. That you can do simply because you have the heart connection.
Right.
You can even do a dream and ask Lucy to show me where she is.
Yeah.
And in your dream, she should answer you.
Yeah, well, that Eva was just saying, I would just pull this up for a second, just saying, question is, has Lucy transitioned, or is she still out there lost? And I guess I don't know with 100% certainty, but my gut and feeling and intuition is that she's transitioned.
My instinct is that, having never seen a picture of her, because you don't have any energy of her around you. Yeah. It's earth energy. Right. Because normally when a person, and people say, well, a lot of people say, well, they got to rest when they get to the other side. They got to wait till they get to the other side. No, they don't. I watch them slip out of the earth suit. It's like watching them do a little pole dance when they get out, and they're in the vets, and they're going, okay, I'm getting ready to leave, and off they go. Well, they are talking to me the whole time they're slipping out of the earth suit. So the other thing you have to know is an energy is so viable.
Right.
And if Lucy were energy earth now in her suit, you would still have that heavy feeling around you. But you don't have that feeling around you. You have a much higher frequency around you. And that's not from your meditations or anything. It's from, didn't she used to sleep right here?
No.
Is that your wife?
What's that?
When you were with her, she was right here on somebody's shoulder, she's showing me.
Yeah, that's in my pictures. Like, I would take her to the gym with me. We'd go work out, and I would
that's what I'm seeing. When you said that, up comes that screen, and that's what she's showing me. So I don't feel that energy as heavy, which would be earth. I feel it more. Have you ever seen a spider's web?
I sure have.
Iridescent, it's gorgeous. Yeah. That's the way they look when they're on the other side. They look like that iridescent, see-through spider in that iridescent steam form. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is, I guess, not only to answer the question for myself, but also just have some reinforcement, but also for Eva and for everybody else watching and listening, to demonstrate then that at least you have a bit of an idea to understand. Now, of course, if you know that your dog died, if your dog transitioned, or your pet or your animal transitioned, and you know that for sure with 100% certainty, then it's the dealing with after. But the challenge for us was we didn't know. We didn't know if she was fill out their loss. And so to clarify what you were saying, what you were getting was not the heavy, which would be the meaning that that she's still alive and out there in the physical form, but the other, when you said it was more lighter, that's indicating, based on your 21 years of experience, that she has transitioned.
And is a higher frequency, yes.
Right. So, yeah, so, well, I appreciate that, and I hope that you all watching can appreciate it as well, because it totally caught me,
It catches your heart.
Yeah, and I just, I was not prepared for it, because I'm just like, as a quick example, Gary Young, the founder of Young Living Essential Oils, died he transitioned this year, and it was sudden, but it wasn't, because he had gotten bit by a spider 10 years ago in the Amazon jungle, which normally gets people and takes them down in 6 to 12 months, and they found out later that he basically lasted 10 years with it. And my reason for bringing this up is just because it had such a unbelievably profound impact on, and he did, in my life and in so many people's lives. But the only reason I'm bringing this up is because it came as such it just happens. It's not like there's not all these circumstances in life that you're planning on, like, well, hey, I know my pet. I mean, for some people that are extremely intuitive, they already know that when they get in.
Well, your pet will give you a memory moment before he passes. So you might ask in your mind, go back with your wife and ask, did Lucy do anything really distinctive before she transitioned? And what a memory moment is was when the 2 weeks before a pet transitions, they will do something out of character. As an example, we had a little poodle that always stayed Velcro dog to her mother, always. And 3 days before she transitioned, she would stay on the other side of the terrace, and the mother would say, come on, be over here. And the pet would stay over on the other side of the terrace and just wouldn't hang out with her, because what she was doing, she was detaching her energy. So the mom took her to the groomer that day, and she passed away. She passed away on the groomer's table. And when she came back, she had transitioned, and it just blew her head. But she realized at that time, because animals know 24 to 48 hours before they're going to leave.
Yeah.
And if you can see energy, I can show you how to watch, because the energy comes out and the aura or life force energy comes in. And even in humans, because they write about this even in the hospice book, all of the electromagnetic comes in to the heart chakra. Right. And then when you leave, it goes up through the shoulder. And so you can watch if you see energy, and you can see the energy coming closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to the body. And the bad part is, even when my other dog passed, I looked and could see that the energy, she had drawn her energy in, and I knew I was dealing with a 24 to 48 hour window. And even though that I know it didn't make it any better.
Yeah.
But from the human's part, but I knew we could rock and roll another way.
Right.
The minute she shed her earth suit.
Right. Yeah, no, that's really good and thank you for sharing that. I will ask my wife, but I know that I remember her saying that she was acting a little bit
different. That's the word.
Yeah, different. Just kind of like she normally wouldn't just get up. Like there's times where she'd get up and then all of a sudden she'd go and she'd just run around and take off and like do laps around the house, and then she comes back, and sometimes she would run over to my parents' place. We live on a farm right now in the country. And then when Adrian told me, I'm like, whatever. She's probably at mom and dad's, like playing and having fun. And then when the next day we're like, okay, something doesn't feel right. And, but it's good to be empowered to know that. And I think inherently still the challenge is for all of us pet parents and animal lovers, or you have them in our lives, is to not, to separate and or detach from that emotional standpoint or the emotional connection, to not get too caught up in it that you as you have said, kind of spend a lot of time in grieving. And
well, you have normal earth grief. That's human normal process of letting it go out. But I have found that if you take that process and during it, like the number one sign that a pet is near you is crying. And I'm talking positive crying, not, I hate him, he's doing this, but my Fluffy's gone, I miss him so much. But the positive is, I just miss him. And all of a sudden you'll feel warm, and that draws the pet near you. And all mediums will say, when you think about them, so the number one sign from pets on the other side is crying. Like you'll be standing in Walmart and all of a sudden you'll be thinking about Lucy and you'll start crying. Well, that means she's wrapping her wings around you and her energy's there, because what it does, it takes your heart like a tuning fork and goes,
right.
That makes you cry. So when they come up, a lot of the crying comes from her hitting the tuning fork of your heart.
Right. I felt that definitely with some people, 2 friends of mine that had transitioned, and I just was driving and it just like out of nowhere came, and that happened with Gary. And my point back to that with Gary Young was just that it happened, and people were like, just we live our lives, or I'll say it from my own experience, I was living inherently. I knew that, you know, he had some health challenges and he might not be around forever. We knew he was not going to be around forever, but we didn't think it was going to be that soon. But to some degree, we kind of go through our day-to-day lives and our pets are always going to be there, or at least we kind of believe that or think that on a day-to-day basis. And then it happens, and then it sends you for a bit of a head spin.
Well, I think it changes your life. I know Mike and I had been dating for 7 years, and I was planning on marrying him, and he called me at 6:30 on Friday night, and he said, "Hi there, I'll be there at 9:30. He never arrived. So I didn't get to say goodbye. I was the exact perfect example of what you said. Is like, okay, rock on. Mike's going to be here at 9:30. We're going to plan the wedding, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, smash-o. My heart, my life completely changed because he was dead at 9:30.
Yeah.
He was in a car crash. The steering wheel went through his chest, and I was left going. So I had to totally rebuild my life again. And so I'm hoping that we can help by talking about transition and about electromagnetic energy. We can rebuild your heart life to include a new journey that's going to make you understand that love's forever. It's never ending. You've got that connection just to keep on keeping on. And it's just your choice to access it.
Yeah, it's, I agree. And I saw this question. I want to pull up. There's a couple good questions that are coming up, so I want to pull them up here if you can see them. I'm going to take our names off. I think everybody knows who we are now.
Okay. May I use her name?
Say that again.
May I use her name?
Yeah.
Okay. Judy, does this mean we should not? No, I totally agree, because what you're doing is, I did a video on this. You're not assisting the pet to transition. You're helping them discard the earth suit that no longer serves them. Okay? Because the body, this is interesting. When an electromagnetic energy is on earth, it's called a soul. So your living life force energy on earth is called a soul. And your soul resides in this body. Okay? And so when the life force energy is in the body, it's the body that deteriorates, not the energy. So as the body deteriorates, you can assist your pet with transition of slipping out of the earth suit, because as it slips out, it becomes living energy on the other side, which is then called spirit. But it's just like the water, steam, ice, water. It's just changing forms into living spirit. So yes, you can help them transition out of a body that's creating an earthly pain, so they can be in pain-free, totally healed, totally well, nanosecond they get out of their body, in a living spirit. And I did, like I said, I think it's video number 34. I had a cat. She was 23 years old. Her name was Ugly, the most beautiful of them all. And when she got ready to leave, I came in there and I touched her nose and she wagged her tail. And then she went into this horrific seizure. And a lot of people think, oh, when they're twitching and having this horrific seizure, that they're going through pain. No. What they're doing is having an electromagnetic energy. It's sort of like a heavy-set woman trying to get out of a bathing suit that's wet. You know, it's sticking to them. So they're just twitching and jerking to get out of that earth suit to be living spirits. And so when I saw Ugly doing this, I went, go, girl, go, Ugly, go. And the minute she finished, I knew she was out and free. And I went, you go, girl, you go, girl. And then I broke down and cried over her earth suit and her body, because we're tactile. We want to touch and hug. That's what people do. But now you get to touch and hug with your mind and your heart.
Hmm.
And it's just as beautiful because you can feel them rub up against you and kiss you, and it's a
Right.
good thing.
Yeah, this is really good, Brent. It's
So
almost
I
like,
don't know if that answers you or not, but yes, you're just assisting them out of an earth suit that's messed up. And it's knocking their soul into, another, their soul's having to deal with it.
yeah, no, I think it was, I think, I mean, Judy, if you want to come, just leave a comment, let us know. But I think it was great. I think it's just because, again, I think it's a great question. This other one, are the presence of white butterflies a sign that they're still near us?
Yes, ma'am. Talk to them. The other day I went to, and I sat in a jacuzzi. And in this jacuzzi, the water's going, you know how the loud they are, just, and I'm sitting back thinking I'm cool. This black butterfly comes and sits right here beside me. I've got, get your head back like this and let the bubbles come all over. And this black butterfly is sitting there, and I'm going, how you doing, Mike? I knew it was Mike. And that butterfly sat there for 45 minutes while I'm in this jacuzzi. And butterflies don't sit in jacuzzis. And he sat there, and I just had a conversation with Mike. Now, people won't think you're crazy. They'll think you're talking to an earbud on your phone. So go ahead and talk to them. So Laura, when you see the butterfly, go, yo, how you doing today? Thank you for sending me a sign. Because when you say, wow, thanks for sending me a sign, they'll send you more and more and more. Now, here's the key, Laura. Don't limit them. Okay? Don't say, oh, it's got to be a white sign. Oh, it's got to be a penny. They are extraordinarily creative. Let them just go wide open, and you'll get some of the greatest signs. But just always say, thank you, got it. One more butterfly story right quick. So my best friend of 30 years died in August. And I'm going, I don't believe you did this to me. Why did you leave Earth? She said, I didn't want to be there anymore. She had some heart problems. She said, I told you I was getting out of there. So I'm coming out of my house, and there's this butterfly sitting on the bush. And I went, well, damn. Took you long enough to show up. You having fun? She says back to me, I'm having a great time. You're the ones having to deal with Earth. And I said, let me go get my camera so I can take a picture of you, and of you sitting there, and because I need to put it in my Facebook group so I can say, oh, look, I got a butterfly from my best friend. And about that time, she started flying off, and she said to me, I told you I didn't like to have my picture taken, and that was on Earth and in signs. And I went, I hear you, girlfriend. No pictures. And off she flew. So talk to them. And they're getting signs coming out of the room. So, yeah, you can get signs just that quick. There's no healing time. There's no any downtime. The minute it gets out of the Earth suit, rock and roll party.
Right. I'm just laughing, not because I think that it's funny, it in a bad way, in a good way, because it's enlightening and refreshing to view it from the perspective that to embrace the transitioning of an animal and a pet and or a human, because I mean, I've witnessed that. I can think of growing up and going to church and different organizations, and just in general seeing people have died and they're still grieving years and years and years after.
See, that to me tears my heart out. I want to go up to him and I want to shake him and go, let me help you. Let me help you. Please let me help you. Let me show you how to feel this. And that's what I get up every day until the universe says stop and do.
Yeah.
That's my mission on Earth. And on my YouTube channel, since you said that, I have to share this with you.
For sure.
I wear a different outfit every episode. And I purposefully, as they say in law school, I purposefully, willfully, and knowingly, with intent, I wear some outfits, okay? But I do that because if for a split second you'll smile in the middle of your grief,
yeah,
then it's helped.
Yeah.
And so somebody said to me, Brent, why do you wear those outfits? And I'm going, if it'll help your heart for a nano minute, then that's what it's for. So I try to approach it with that, silly way. So you'll go, that crazy girl, maybe she's right.
Yeah. Well, I agree. And whether at the end of the day, if people disagree, that's okay. Everybody can have different thoughts and opinions and perspectives, but I find it totally resonant and in alignment with what I've experienced and know to be true. This other one for Susan that popped it up here is feeling that now. She's just saying, I believe when you were talking about feeling that, like when you start thinking about them and feeling like the tears start welling up, Is there anything that you could mention for Susan?
Well, really what's happening is your God bless you with search and rescue dogs. That means that, what's your pet's name, Susan? Can I see?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Well, she'll have to comment, and then I got to pull
I'm a newbie. I'm a newbie here, Susan, so
that's okay.
I can read. I got my glasses on. Even got my bifocal, so I can see the picture. Beautiful. Is that a Malinois?
Oh, right here. Here we go. Quest.
Oh, cool name. The way you can do is you can ask Quest, because Quest is an old soul. Quest is a very old soul. And he came for, or she, I can't tell under the bottom parts what we have, what kind of parts we have. But Quest came to change lives. And so Quest is a very high frequency, and you'll be able to feel Quest's frequency around you. And that little thing we did, let me tell you, you'll be able to do that. Put your paw in my hand thing. I got chills all over me telling you that. So you can up close camera show them. And you'll be able to do that. So you and Quest can keep on going. And if you get another SNR dog, you, Quest, and it's a menage a trois. Once you connect with your pet on the other side, you have a menage a trois or quattro or how many other pets you have for the rest of your life. Yeah. So, yeah. But Quest is a very old soul. And with that high frequency, you'll be able to do a lot of, as we say, good earth tricks.
That was perfect. Thank you. And this next one here. So when I pop this in, that Dawn was just saying, what perfect timing to find this. I'm spending the next few days with my Ziggy doing his favorite things. Actually, I pulled up the wrong one. Do our past pets help current pets with the transition process?
Excellent. Now, another thing, if we don't get all your questions here today, y'all can email me these questions and I make videos of them. Like I said, we've got about, I think I just put out the 344th video, but we've got like 500 in the queue. So ask a question and we put them up. But now, do your past pets, it's like Peter Piper picked a pepper, past pets help current pets in the transition process? Let me tell you how they help. All electromagnetic energy, I'm in an earth suit. The minute I shed the earth suit, I become electromagnetic energy. Anything, keyword, Teresa, anything that sheds its earth suit, Papa Bear, Mama Bear, cousin, friend, the guy you don't like down the block, pets down the street, anything becomes electromagnetic energy on the other side and a living spirit. So a electromagnetic energy form, spirit of a past pet is always hanging out. It's sort of like what you don't realize is that anytime an electromagnetic energy that sheds its earth suit and goes to the other side, it's hanging out in the room with you for the rest of your being. So when your current earth body pet is dealing with earth health issues, then all of the electromagnetic buddies up here are hanging out watching. They're ready to go, hey, baby, get out of that suit and come join us. We got some stuff to do today. And he's going, hey, I'm still stuck down here. Got a chemo to go through and I'm throwing up. This ain't too good. Hurry up, buddy. All right, just dump the suit. Dump the suit. And he's going, I got to deal with mom in this too. Dump the suit. Let's go. So, yeah, they're there. And a lot of times you'll see them look up like this. Every night when I go to bed, friend lays in bed and he looks up and I know it's Mike coming in to sleep with me. Sorry, I didn't mean to tell you about that kind of life. But he's up looking. And when they see, they know they're coming in. So, yes, they do. They're there in spirit form going, we're ready. Come on. I hope that answered you.
Yeah, great. I think it was amazing. And by the way, Susan said, thank you so much. She really appreciated it. And so two last ones, because this is really good. And I think, which by the way, Brent, if you are open to it, I have the slight presumption and intuition, which is usually very accurate, that people are very interested in this, would like to hear more. So they can email in your questions, but if you're open to it, I'd love to do another call with you and we can give people.
Oh, I like you. Yeah. I like you and your energy. I would be honored.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you do, because
you have to give me a heads up because, listen, folks. I'm not cute like he is, and I got hair that I have to arrange. So this morning I had a 5-minute interlude of trying to put my teeth in, put my hair on, and, you know, get this wig head straight and try and look decent so I wouldn't scare anybody. So if you give me a heads up, I'll accept.
Yes, we'll do more preparation because we still have about 6 weeks. And part of that is, as before I pull up the next question here, was because we've transitioned, you know, no pun intended, from using the coaching calls were reserved mainly for paid members, and then now we're opening them up for this reason specifically. The paid members or VIP members are getting access to monthly master classes. They have access to the content and all the other perks that they have. But these ones, this is just great because it's great for you as presenters, and this I feel is very valuable to share your work, and I feel grateful and blessed and honored to be able to share the work that you do with the people that are, the people that are in need. And that's, I'm not the Brent or the Eva or the Dr. Andrew Jones or all the wellness experts or animal experts. I'm the connector, and I feel grateful to be there.
Got to have a bridge.
That's right. That's Barney the Bridge.
You be Barney the Bridge. Barney the Bridge.
This other one was off this is actually great. Paul was just saying right after what you just said to Teresa, I feel like this is actually a perfect segue.
Okay, this is wonderful. Thank you, Paul, so much for doing this. And another thing, when we do our next time, if they'll bring pet pictures and put them up, we can talk about them. That's why I could talk about Quest.
Sure.
Having the ashes, Paul, and this is to share with you, a lot of people get stuck in the idea of, this is Fluffy. I can only talk to Fluffy here. I'm going to sleep with Fluffy. Now, if you're doing that, your pet's sitting up in heaven going, Lord, have mercy. I wish they'd give that up. Because you're limiting them. You're just ashes, and this is going to be straightforward, so take a deep breath and get a glass of water. It's nothing but crisp bones and water and fur. That's it. There is no soul in those ashes. And a lot of people think that's offensive for me to say, and I don't mean to say it offensively, but I'm trying to do a shock factor that knocks you out of knowing that's just, if I burn this velour top this morning, that's what's in the ashes. You can't keep a soul in cremated ashes because it becomes a living spirit. Now, so what you're really asking is, when you say you have the ashes of our previous pets, I have a friend who has had 7 pets, and she has all the ashes up on the mantle, okay? And she's going to put those all in her casket when she crosses over. But you got to know that the ashes are just the cremated fursuit. The living spirits are what the other pets feel all the time. You can have them even play with them. I did several videos over on YouTube that says you can watch present pets play with pets on the other side. I mean, you know, you go, this is strange, but it's real because I can watch them do it, but it's real. And you say, can they feel their presence? Yes, and behave as the ones in transaction. You mean in transition. If they behave like the one that transitioned, that's called oversouling. Did a whole video on that, so I won't have to go in. But oversouling is when the pet in heaven directs. He's sitting up there going, hey, baby, Mama likes you to sit in her lap after she has coffee in the morning. Jump up there and do that. So all of a sudden he comes and jumps up in your lap and goes, oh, look at what Fluffy's doing. He's sitting in my lap. This is sort of like Harry used to do. That's called oversouling. And you go, oh, he's acting like Harry. Well, Harry's going, hey, did a good job there, Fluffy. I like that. Mom liked that. Yeah. Now, turn around 3 times and bark. She'll give you an extra treat. That's called oversouling. So a lot of times they do behave as the one that transitioned. So there was 3 questions in there, and I hope that answered all of them.
Yeah, that was great. I was laughing when I was off the camera, just thinking about the times of Lucy, but some of my other dogs growing up, that seeing them, and you're like watching them play and thinking like, what are they doing? They're like out there, like ripping around, like they're doing something with other pets and animals.
Yeah, like they're airborne.
Probably because they are.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple last ones here, and then we're going to wrap up for today. Eva just said, had a bird come and sit near my desk here, no place for a bird, and I knew immediately who it was.
And I hope you said, hello, welcome, come again, visit often. Yeah.
So, okay, these last couple, I promise, and then we're done here.
I'm fine. I've even brought extra tea over here, so we're good. It's
okay.
Your time.
Okay, yeah, no, we're good.
I love helping. I mean, I just don't want anybody to be bored.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be bored on today's call with the two B bridges on here today. So Dawn commented there about, do you feel that there's anything to do that we can help with, from a pet standpoint?
Yes.
And I think you're going to be, part of that is what you're covering in your presentation, isn't it, or not?
I don't know.
Oh.
I did that a month and a half ago. I don't. You know, when you get a certain age, you have to write a sticky note, and I don't know what I did on that thing. I hope I just did some good. Do you feel anything? Yes, you can say, and this is important, I ask, and it is my intent, with a T, keyword, intent, from the love in my heart to send you my life force energy to use as you so choose. I want to say that one more time. I ask, and it is my intent from the love in my heart to send you my life force energy to use as you so choose. Now, what that does, it takes the love connection, the electromagnetics that you have that are in a healthy body, and it transitions it like a dialysis machine into the pet earth suit. Then your pet can make the choice to either transition very easily. It takes the horrific physical out of it and puts it into a gentle passing, or they can use that energy to heal themselves and get better. So you can personally, by saying that prayer, send them your energy, and then your pet can decide what to do with it, whether to take it and cushion his crossing and transition, or to use it to help get better. Good answer?
Yep, that was clear for me. I think that was really good. And I like that. I'm going to go back and listen to the replay and write that down about the intent. I remember something very specifically from one of my courses that I took in corrective exercise and holistic health. And the guy said, his name's Josh Rubin, and he said it's your intention and your attention is in life, with your focus on studies, or when you're setting an intention, or where your attention is what can dictate your life experience. And he said it was so like subtle, but I felt when he said it made a lot of sense, and that's what reminded me of that just now, about you being clear on the intent.
Well, another thing is, if you look at it this way, if you say, I intend, then all of your guides on the other side going, in this incarnation or when? Seriously, right. Because intend is never, never land.
Right.
It's like, okay, whenever, we'll get to it. But if you say, it is my intent, everybody on the other side gets up and goes, whoop, we're in action, folks. They said it's my intent. We're good to go. And all your spirit guides, all those in charge of your soul's contract, are there behind you to make that intent happen.
Right.
But otherwise, they're sitting up there, fluffing their wings going, she said intend. We don't need to worry about this. Whatever. But intent means action.
That's perfect. Christine, you can probably see this up here a little. And I think what you had mentioned earlier, but her question, if you're able to read it, Brent,
I can.
About, would you encourage her to do the same thing? Or, I guess my...
Okay, well, I want to say this to her.
Feel it?
I don't want you to say anything. I just want to tell you how. Let me tell you how it hit her. Okay, Christine, take a deep breath, girl. Here's what I'd say. What do you mean you don't have the energy to connect? Did you love him? There's the energy. You're riding on the love train. You could be sick in bed on a ventilator, girl, and still connect on the love. See what I'm saying? Now, if you said I've tried before, maybe you didn't do it right. Okay. My book, After Death Sign, tells you how to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go in my group. We got 54,000 people from all over the world. They'll help you straighten it out. But if you said you don't feel the energy to connect with him, well, if you got love, you got the energy. That's the love train. That's the energy connection. And you've tried before, it just means you didn't do it right. I mean, when I write in my books, I say, do this. And people say, well, I just changed up a word. And I'm going, you do what? They say, well, I just changed up a word. And I'm going, I spent 21 years crafting those words to make it happen right. And changing just one tiny little word can mess up everything. So you can do it. Because I can look at you. You're a good soul. You're a happy person, and you're a very kind person. I'm just looking at your picture there. You have a heart that's sad, but you're a very kind person. And you can do this because you love them. And the fact that you're telling me that they've been gone a year, that tells me how deep your love is. So that tells me how deep your energy can be to connect.
That was great. That was great. And I appreciate you giving that distinction of not to feel like this, would she have to build up her energy and vitality first, or can she just kind of get more clear and try a different approach? Mm-hmm. Or do it, like you said, do it correctly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Christine's asking, do you want to give me the link? Is it easy to find on Facebook, or can you give me how do I
do it? This is Barney 101 teaching Brent how to do this. I don't know. I'm not computer savvy.
So we'll post it. Oh, that's okay. We'll post the group. So first of all,
wait a minute. How do I get? Okay, I can go up here and put another. Hold on. Probably took me off.
There's a chat. But you know what I'll do, Christine?
I got the. Is there a thing?
Yeah, there's a chat here.
Where do I put the paste? I don't know how to do this, Barney.
Just go right click and try to do paste.
It won't.
Okay.
It won't. It doesn't.
What's the name of the group?
It's called Animal Life After Death. Let me see. Just hold on. I've got it listed here. Copy. So I'll go over to chat with your guest. Let's see if it'll. Oh. Okay. Now, what do I hit? Enter.
Yep.
That's it.
We're good.
Is that it?
Yep. And I want to put this.
Do I get a gold star for doing it right? Can you tell I'm not technically? So I can talk to dead dogs and spirits, but I sure can't do technology.
Well, hey, you got blessed with nice hair. I didn't. I actually do have a full head of hair. I just decided to shave it. But I'm
not going to do that to my earth suit yet.
No. Okay, so here is the Brent's Facebook group. See this? Guys, thanks for being patient with us. This is how this works when you do things 100% live. But this is real life. So right there, so you can click on the link. I should maybe double check it first, but so that's a group. So you can join the group, and it is called Animal Life After Death, Pet Loss, Afterlife, Sign, Reincarnation, Brett Atwater. So it's a long title, but it's easy to find with that link. So you can go there, click on that, join in the group. And by the way, Brent, your book, so I posted your website there. Oh, perfect. And Eva, I should have just asked Eva to do it too. She's usually quick. I'm
learning how to do all this stuff. All this is up now. That's the book, After Death Signs. Okay,
that's perfect. So I guess basically your website, so this is the other thing now as we're kind of wrapping up and coming in for the landing here, as I like to say.
How do I make this go away? Wait, just did it.
Oh, click on it. See, you're learning something new every day. You're teaching us and we're teaching you. So this is where everybody, you guys can find Brent's book. So this is what's cool. What I just appreciate about your work, Brent, is that your intention and just the work that you do is to serve. And that's really for our event. We want to make it so that with the summit that it's free, so that no matter where people are, no matter what the situation is, they can access the training free during the summit. And then of course we do offer the paid options, which help support the project so we can continue to offer it for free. But your website, so BrentAtwater.com.
And we're getting ready to have a new one, so pay attention. We got some cool stuff coming.
Cool. So
that means I'm going to have new pictures. You won't have to look at 1955 pictures.
Yeah. Well, they look great. As Eva said earlier, you look, or she had a nice comment here. I can't find it now, but right here, it said, come on, Brent, you're beautiful just the way you are. So that's good. And last thing,
you can see my heart. That's more important.
Angela just said that you are a gift to the world. You bring such joy to what is so often a very sad and sorry topic. I really enjoyed listening to you today. So, and again, guys, this is why we wanted to do these calls live for you. And so my encouragement for you is 3 things: is tag somebody in the comments, let them know about this, because I know that there's a lot of people that are, whoops, did I disappear?
I can see you. We just didn't transition, though. You're still here.
on the display, it looks black. It just looked like I disappeared. But anyway, so you can.
Your energy was so on fire, it just seared the screen.
It blew the camera wide open.
There you go. Just seared the screen.
But just leave a tag somebody in a comment, because I feel very strongly compelled to share that. I know that there's a lot. Everybody has experienced it. If you haven't, with the transition, experiencing the transition of a pet or an animal. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are struggling because they haven't been empowered with this information that Brent's sharing with us. So just go ahead and do that. And then the other thing is, go check out Brent's books, her website. You can follow her Facebook page or the group, and also her YouTube channel.
The YouTube is the most fun. We put out about three videos a week, and you get to see these these outfits. But if it makes you smile, that's what matters.
Well, that's all that does matter. And I've been smiling almost the whole time here. So this has been great. I want to thank you so much on behalf of ourselves at the Animal Wellness Summit team, but also all the presenters, for you to say thank you to you as well, Brent, for all the time and energy and effort, because it's a lot of work, even though we put this on, and I know you know this, but it's worth reinforcing. It's not free to put on, but we put it on free. So our highest intention, with a T, is intended to continue to keep serving you and sharing great information like this. So any final closing words of wisdom that you'd like to share with everybody today as we wrap up?
Yes. The first thing you need to do to help your heart heal, and the most important, is to use the word transition. Never let die go across your lips, or dead go across your lips again. Because when you use the word transition, it will talk about reality. And your heart and your soul and your mind will start sorting that reality. And if there's anybody that I can help, because I've experienced it myself when Mike was killed, I know what it feels like when your guts are splattered all over everything. So let me try with the resources we put out there to teach you, to expand your awareness, so you'll know that love is never ending and you can continue your relationship just in a different form. So.
That was great. That was great, Brent. Thank you again so very much. And for being present, and also all of you guys tuning in live and watching the replay. Because Brent and I could have this great, fun, and amazing and engaging conversation, but if nobody watches it, it's not as fulfilling for us as if people watch and engage. So,
hold on.
Okay.
I'm going to take a picture of us right here on this.
Yep.
So that I can post it and have everybody come over here, and you'll send me the replay.
Yep. And then you can say, "Look at this cool dude's haircut."
I will. I'll say, guess who has more hair, me or him?
Awesome. Oh, did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
I'll put it up, say, have them go over to, you send me the link, and then they can listen.
That'd be great. Okay, well, that's awesome. Well, I'm going to sign off, and thanks again, Brent.
Bye, y'all. Transition.
That's right. #transition.
That's it.
Okay. Have a good day, guys. We'll talk to you later.